Well, going into our Friday afternoon and our Saturday afternoon, looking at those increased rain chances on the board before we dry back up going into Sunday, we'll give you a look at potential rainfall totals. That's coming up.
I'm Stephanie Molina in St. Paul, and coming up, I'm following up on drainage concerns we've been covering and the progress that has been made so far to help reduce flooding.
If your weekend needs a little adventure, folks, culture, or just a reason to get out of the house,
we have a few picks you won't want to miss in this week's Coastal Bend Weekend coming up.
Good morning, everyone. You are watching Chris 6 Sunrise. As always, waking up with the Hoffmans today. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman.
Well, howdy and happy Friday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a look at our Thursday almanac data, we topped out right where we should be for this time of year. 93 degrees for that daytime high, a couple degrees cooler on the morning low. We came in at 73 compared to our average of 75 degrees. Either way, we were well shy of that record high we set 100 degrees back in 2005 and did pick up 2/100ths of an inch of rainfall yesterday over at the International Airport, leading to still about 3.5 inches of a rainfall surplus so far for 2026, but expecting that number to potentially go up as we go through the next couple of days. Here's a look at our Friday forecast, where more of those scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected to show up as we're heading through the later morning hours and into the early afternoon. As we head in towards the later afternoon and the evening, most of that activity should shift inland, but either way, still holding on to plenty of that cloud cover here in Corpus Christi. And in terms of the abundant moisture in our atmosphere, still dealing with the minor to moderate heat risk today and a little bit more of that moderate heat risk as we're going into tomorrow. Of course, we'll get you a look at that future tracker, though. That's coming up in a few more minutes. Now let's take a look at some of those traffic tips before you hit the roads this morning. Keep in mind we could see some of those wet roadways, especially as we're heading in through the later Friday morning hours and into our Saturday morning tomorrow. Either way, keep in mind the road closure is still taking place on 286 in the right lane near Uptown. That's going to be going on until 3 p.m. this Friday afternoon. And speaking of our Friday afternoon, that's where we're expecting more of those downpours to start taking shape. So just want to give yourself a little bit of extra caution, especially for that commute back home. Either way, hoping you have a great and safe Friday morning commute out there.
I'm Stephanie Molina in St. Paul, where I've been covering drainage and flooding concerns here. San Patricio County Drainage District crews have made progress, so I went to take a look as to what has been done so far. I first told you about Chrissy Godinez after recent rainstorms flooded her home. After my story, the San Patricio County Commissioner Precinct 3 office and the Drainage District began work to improve drainage in the area. So where most of the progress has been done is here on County Road 2375, and I'm going to crouch down to show you. I mean, this is how deep it is. Those two pipes right there used to be only one, and they added that other one to help it drain properly, and all of this road right here has already been dug up. I followed up with Godinez to see how she feels about the progress, especially with more rain in the forecast.
I'm thankful. Like, we shouldn't have a drainage issue. It should be flowing a lot faster now with the culverts that they installed. Honestly, it makes me feel good because I'm not that concerned, honestly. Like, I'm like, let it rain. I'm not gonna worry about it this time. Feels better.
I'm Jada Strayer on Padre Island at a collection site for Kaylee's Light Foundation, which is a toy drive for Driscoll Children's Hospital, honoring Kaylee's life by giving back. When you walk into Sherry and Beau Calva-House's home, you'll find it filled with laughter, love, and boxes. Dozens and dozens of boxes. All of them overflowing with toys, donated in memory of their daughter Kaylee, who would have turned 18 next week.
Kaylee is love and light. She's simple. She's joy. She's happy. She's all the things.
Kaylee passed away in March of 2024. Born with a rare genetic disorder, she was nonverbal but communicated through pure love. And her favorite thing? Toys.
Couldn't leave the house without a toy in her hand. Toys was her everything. She loved her toys.
Food.
And food, yeah.
Now in its third year, Kaylee's Light Foundation is trying to collect 2,000 toys for Driscoll Children's Hospital. Currently at 58% of their goal with 1,156 toys, with only a few days left.
She loved toys, and we want to continue that love and joy that she had for toys and keep her memory alive through the toys to children at Driscoll Children's Hospital.
The timing is intentional. They'll deliver the toys July 22nd, the day before Kaylee's 18th birthday. It's also when Driscoll's shelves are typically low between the holiday giving seasons.
She's more alive than ever. She lets us know her presence, and she's very good at orchestrating things and guiding us.
For this family, every donated toy proves that love continues beyond loss.
Just a simple toy just shows that you know, somebody cares about them. A distraction. I know for Kaylee, it was joy, it was security, and so we hope that they feel that same love and joy that Kaylee felt.
For those who can't donate in person, there are other ways to help. The foundation has 30 collection sites spread across the coastal bend, from Padre Island to the south side, from central and downtown Corpus Christi to Annabelle. But if getting to a drop-off location isn't possible, the Culvahouse family has made it easy to still participate.
We also have an Amazon list, so it can actually just ship straight to our house. And also, we can shop for you.
There's 30 collection sites and 10 days left before the toys are dropped off at Driscoll on July 22nd. I brought 13 toys. Who's gonna match me? Reporting from the island, I'm Jada Strayer, Chris 6 News.
An update to Wednesday's deadly disturbance on Moravian Drive in the Bay Area.
19-year-old Victor Moreno was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and criminal mischief. Police say they found 32-year-old Athanasios Stamatakis with severe injuries. A car hit him and was taken to the hospital where he later died. Investigators say the two knew each other. A new restaurant is bringing Seattle-style teriyaki to the Coastal Bend. Teriyaki Madness will open its first Corpus Christi location today. The new shop is in the Moore Plaza Shopping Center on South Padre Island Drive. The menu features cooked-to-order bowls with protein and fresh vegetables. Customers can get $6 chicken teriyaki bowls on Friday and Saturday, and the restaurant is expected to open at 10.
A popular cookie chain is finally opening up its doors in Corpus Christi. Get ready, folks. Crumble Cookies is holding its grand opening over on South Staples. The store held a soft opening yesterday to train staff. Owners say that they already saw lines out the door. The family-owned business features a rotating menu of specialty cookies each week. Co-owner Colby Rawlings says that he is expecting to bring the sweet treats closer to home for local fans.
I know a lot of people have gone to different locations from Victoria to San Antonio to McAllen to go get their cookies. Now we're right here, save you some gas, save you some time, get that sweet tooth taken care of.
The grand opening is at 8. The first 100 guests on Friday and Saturday get a free t-shirt. Owners recommend bringing a fan to stay cool if you end up waiting in line.
You've probably seen the videos on social media about foreigners coming to the United States for the very first time for the World Cup and experiencing things that we do in America. So I wanted to go ahead and ask somebody from England if all of that was actually true.
Thanks so much. You're welcome. This is one back here? Yeah, welcome to America. You know, I used to be little like you.
The World Cup has made its way back to America for the first time since 1994. And this time we have social media to document it.
So you've seen those videos of the reaction of people coming.
I'm enjoying them so much.
And does that remind you of like your first experience when you first moved to the U.S.?
Yes.
Alice Oblad is from England and has lived in the U.S. for over 20 years.
I went to music college out in Utah, and then that's where I met my husband, and then we went to grad school at Texas Tech and then just ended up staying.
Everything here has so much sugar in it, I think I'm now diabetic.
And yes, Alice says these reaction videos are genuine because she experienced it herself.
I remember walking around the dorms asking for a plaster at one point, and people were like, plaster cast? Band-Aid.
So what is foreign to these foreigners?
And the loop's right here.
Ranch. That's a huge one. Peanut butter in England, it's not a thing. Like if you said PB&J in the UK, unless somebody had seen an American sitcom or knew about it, they wouldn't know what you were talking about. Anytime my mum comes to visit, the first thing she wants to do is go to HEB. Like she'll take a picture with a watermelon and be like, take a picture of me holding this. If you ask for ice, like in a restaurant, they look at you like you're crazy. Or they'll give you like a cup and it will have like 1 cube of ice in it and they'll be like, you weirdo.
And of course, this England fan couldn't miss a 2026 World Cup match.
It kind of felt like I was back home in a way. It was amazing.
An experience everyone has been able to be a part of on or off the pitch.
What is this? Why?
Thanks to social media.
The World Cup final will be Saturday, July 19th, and we're pretty excited to continue seeing those World Cup reaction videos. So keep them coming. Reporting from Corpus Christi, Clara Benitez Cortez, Chris 6 News.
Good morning, I'm Maritza Giorgio, and here's what's happening today. On Friday, the UN Security Council will hold a briefing on Iran's nuclear program. Members of the council are expected to review implementation of the 2015 Iran nuclear deal and discuss growing concerns over any nuclear activities in Iran. This comes amid the ongoing war in Iran with the United States. That war has included strikes by America and Israel on alleged Iranian nuclear facilities. The meeting was requested by Bahrain and the 5 European countries in the council. Friday marks the final day of the Great American State Fair in Washington, D.C. This is all part of the Trump administration's America 250 celebration. That fair was a showcase on the National Mall in Washington featuring exhibits, food, music, and cultural displays from all 50 states and American territories. The fair struggled to draw visitors with low attendance, widely reported. It was also impacted by extreme heat in that part of the country around the 4th of July holiday. Mr. Worldwide trying to break a world record. On Friday, Pitbull will attempt to break the Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of people wearing bald caps. The singer and rapper will be performing at Hyde Park in London. More than 65,000 people are expected to attend. It's unclear what the current record is. Who knew there was even such a record? Pitbull and his fans have a pretty good chance at making this happen, they think.
Chris 6, a part of the Scripps News Group. Now, local events and fun things to do. It's Coastal Bend Weekend with the Hoffmans. Sponsored by Corpus Christi Events Calendar.
Christmas in July? Not exactly, but we are wrapping up the best weekend events with a nice little bow. So consider this your gift guide, Hoffman style.
Yeah, first stop Portland, where Shark Week is biting off an early start.
The Portland Aquatic Center is diving into all things shark this weekend.
From now through Sunday, you can sink your teeth into some jawsome shark facts and family fun from 2 to 4 p.m. Regular admission applies.
Over in downtown Corpus Christi, wishes are written, stars align, and a beautiful Japanese tradition takes center stage.
The Tanabata Star Festival returns Saturday from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Texas State Museum of Asian Cultures and Education Center.
The festival is inspired by the legend of Oraheim and Hikoboshi, two star-crossed lovers separated by the Milky Way who reunite just once a year.
Expect live entertainment, a vendor marketplace, cultural activities, and traditions that symbolize renewal and connection.
From reconnecting long-lost lovers to making brand new friends, the Rose Soiree Floral Studio is hosting a bestie speed dating brunch for the ladies, bouquets included.
Let's be honest, making friends as an adult can feel a little awkward, right? So this event pairs brunch, conversation, and a bouquet bar to help you bloom some new friendships or enjoy a fun morning with your current bestie.
It's Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Go solo or bring a friend. It's $50 per person.
If your love language is shopping local, we have a couple of stops to put on your list.
Ashbury Methodist Church is hosting a farmers market Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. featuring local growers, small businesses, plus arts and crafts vendors.
And just down the road, the Southside Farmers Market on Everhart is also open with dozens of local vendors, fresh produce, and the best kind of shopping perk.
Free samples. This one starts at 9 a.m. and ends at noon.
And finally, if your weekend playlist needs a little retail therapy, head to the Rock and Roll Flea Market at the House of Rock.
From 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, the venue turns up the volume to 11 with vintage finds, vinyl, memorabilia, and thrift shop treasures that really hit all the right notes. As always, for more information about these events and more, visit our website.
And of course, if you'd like to see your event featured, make sure you send us a message.
Well, hey there and happy Friday, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at some of our weather headlines as we're heading into the weekend. It's already Friday. Scattered showers and storms are expected, especially as we're heading through the later morning hours today and into the afternoon. That's going to be pretty similar as we're heading into tomorrow, with that daytime heating being one of the main sources of fuel for these storms. Could see some heavy downpours at times with the addition of this tropical moisture working into the area, but luckily should still be sub-severe limits. And as we're going in towards Sunday and Monday of next week, rain chances start to dry up, and of course we start to warm back up in terms of those actual air temperatures. Here's how it's looking on our current future tracker as we're heading out there. Like we talked about, through the later morning hours, we start to see more of those heavy downpours showing up, and as we head through the afternoon, this activity starts to shift its way inland before drying up entirely as we head in towards our Friday night. So if you do have any of those Friday night plans, looking like you should be okay as you're heading out there, but still maybe keeping an eye on the radar just to be safe. As we're going in towards Saturday morning, that's where we still have a break in the rainfall, waking up to the 70s and 80s and feeling plenty of mugginess in the atmosphere. But with that daytime heating in effect, that's where we see more of those showers showing back up on the board, looking like it might be a little bit more inland as we're heading into tomorrow before the rain chances finally start to dry up a little bit as we're heading in towards Sunday. Here's how we could shape up in terms of the potential rainfall coming down. Mainly they're going to be the isolated to scattered downpours at times. So some neighborhoods going to come in across the board without anything coming down as we're heading through the event, but some areas going to pick up 1 to 2 inches, and under the heaviest downpours could even pick upwards of 3 inches as we're heading out there. Without any rainfall over the past few weeks, most of our soils should be able to handle the rain that's coming down, but either way it could lead to some localized flooding concerns at times, or either way just want to take it a little safe on the roadways if you do run into any of those downpours heading out there. Here's a look at our rain chances through the next couple of days. Like we talked about, by the time we're heading into Sunday and Monday, the rain chances start to dry up and temperatures start to go up along with that. Temperatures are still going to be in those lower 90s across the entire 7-day forecast, with the chance for another round of isolated showers as we're heading into the middle of next week.
Again, after the United States and Iran traded new attacks earlier this week.
NBC's Alice Barr explains the exchange threatens to collapse their agreement to end the war.
After 2 nights of strikes between the U.S. and Iran, overnight last night, a tense standoff, with Iranian state media reporting explosions across the country. A U.S. official tells NBC News American forces did not launch new strikes, but have been shooting down incoming Iranian drones and missiles aimed at neighboring nations. The official said there are no reports of injuries or significant damage to U.S. bases in the region. Iranian Americans again fearing for the family they left behind.
Everybody's shocked because they thought they're going to stop the war, so everybody's scared again.
On Thursday, huge crowds gathered for the burial of the Iranian supreme leader killed in an airstrike at the start of the war launched by the U.S. and Israel. The burial ends a week of funeral processions that have included calls for retribution against President Trump, all as we're learning new details about security precautions involving Air Force One. 2 sources now say that while there was no specific threat, the Secret Service recommended President Trump fly in the old Air Force One when taking off from the NATO summit in Turkey Wednesday, instead of the new one that was gifted by Qatar and upgraded with what the White House called high-level security protocols. Sources familiar with the aircraft now tell NBC News it does not have all the defensive capabilities built into the older military-grade presidential plane. The president downplayed concerns.
I have a threat all the time. I'm number 1 on their list.
While he again asserted Iran wants to make a deal for long-term peace, but that he doesn't know if they'll stick to it. As for the critical Strait of Hormuz, sources and data show traffic plunged through that vital shipping route this week after the flare-up in fighting that started with Iran firing on commercial ships in an effort to exert control over the strait, all of it with a direct impact on oil and gas prices. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Watching Chris 6, a part of the Scripps News Group.
All sorts of items can wash up on our beaches.
That's right. Our crew did a little research and found some pretty bizarre things that have actually been found on the Padre Island National Seashore. Take a look at this. One of the strangest items reported are old barnacle-covered dolls. The so-called creepy dolls are frequently found and sometimes go viral. Speaking of creepy beach combers, we've also found witch bottles. They are 19th century anti-witch bottles packed with items meant to ward off evil spells and witches.
200-pound blocks of World War II-era raw rubber have also been found. They come from a German cargo ship that was sunk off the coast of Brazil. Space program escape pods have also been found on the national seashore.
Well, hey there, Coastal Bend. Starting us off with our Lion of Utah Animal Services dog walking forecast today. We've got Peaches Ortiz on the board right here from Nueces County. Says their favorite place to take a walk is just around the neighborhood. And as we're heading out there for Peaches walk, definitely feeling the mugginess this morning. Temperatures on the climb through the 80s, about 83 degrees by 9 a.m. By the time we're heading in towards 11 a.m., could start to see more of those scattered showers and even thunderstorms showing up back on the radar. Something to keep in mind. Wind-wise, out of the southeast this morning, closer to 5 miles an hour, starting to push 10 to 15 miles an hour as we're heading in towards the afternoon. In terms of our rain chances, like we talked about, by the later morning hours and into the early afternoon, that's where we are expecting those rain chances to start climbing on the board. Starts to decrease once again as we're heading in towards our Friday night. So if you do have any of those Friday night plans, looking like you should be okay heading out there. Here's how it's playing out on our 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the 90s across the board, 92 degrees as we're heading into Monday with the rain chances starting to dry up, but we could see a few more isolated showers heading into the middle of next week.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. It is a Friday, everyone, and you know what that means. We got to make sure the weekend's looking sunny and bright with meteorologist Stephen Jones.
Well, hey there and happy Friday, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a look at some of our weather headlines as we're heading into the weekend. Here's what we're expecting. More of those scattered showers and thunderstorms showing up on the radar as we're heading through our Friday afternoon and into our Saturday afternoon. Could see some of those heavy downpours at times, but luckily it is supposed to be sub-severe limits, but we could still see some gusty winds and, of course, frequent lightning with some of those thunderstorms. The rain chances do start to weaken as we're heading into Sunday, and with the rain chances going down, the temperatures are going to go right back up as we're heading into Sunday afternoon. Here's a look at that future tracker and how it might play out as we're heading through the day. Through the later morning hours, like we talked about, a few more of those downpours showing up on the radar. Here's a look at what that could look like by noon this afternoon. As we're heading in towards the actual afternoon hours in the later afternoon, more of that activity starts to shift its way inland before it starts to dry up completely as we're heading in towards our Friday night. So if you do have any of those Friday night plans, looking like we should dry out, but still dealing with the 80s and plenty of mugginess, of course, in the atmosphere as we're heading out there. If you do have any Saturday morning plans, also looking like we're still going to have that break in the rainfall, waking up to the 70s and 80s across the board. And as that daytime heating gets going tomorrow, that's where we see more of those showers and thunderstorms potentially showing back up on the board. I'm wanting to probably bring that umbrella along with you as we're heading through about the next 48 hours. But after we go through our Saturday afternoon, a lot of that activity looks to start drying up as we're heading into Sunday. Here's how it could shape up in terms of rainfall totals. Not all of us are going to get all of the downpours, but here's a look at how it could play out. By going into Alice, Kingsville, you could see how some neighborhoods going to get over an inch of rain coming down at potential areas. Other areas coming in closer to that 0 mark there in Rockport, Port Aransas, and Refugio. But like we talked about, don't want you to focus on the exact locations of these storms. The other model system wants to have the zeros inland towards Jim Wells and Duval County, where the coastal community is picking up on more of that rainfall towards 2 to 3 inches at times. For our wind forecast today, not shaping up too badly, going about 15 miles an hour sustained out of the southeast with peak gusts upwards of 20 miles an hour. We'll get you a closer look at that 7-day forecast coming up. Now let's take a look at some of those tips before you hit the roads this morning. Keep in mind we haven't seen too much activity on the radar so far, but could still see some of those wet roadways, especially as we're heading through the later morning hours and especially into the afternoon hours for that commute back home. Road closure to keep in mind as we're heading out there. 286 northbound on the right lane near Uptown is still going to have some of those road closures through 3 p.m. this afternoon. And of course that ongoing work on I-37 still going on to the north of Calallen. Something to keep in mind for any of those San Antonio trips. Hoping you have a great and safe Friday out there.
The city of Corpus Christi has started the removal process for parking meters downtown. In total, 845 parking meters are located in the downtown, uptown, and North Beach areas. The city plans to have removal completed by the end of the month. Meter poles and signage will remain in place until removal is complete.
Sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
There are some changes coming to USPS. I'll have a breakdown on exactly what you can expect to pay over at the post office starting on Sunday.
I'm Stephanie Molina in St. Paul, and coming up, I'm following up on drainage concerns we've been covering and the progress that has been made so far to help reduce flooding.
Hey everyone, I'm Laura Zaliska. And I'm Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber. We're out here at London ISD. Starting August 1st, UIL will be enforcing new rules that could change sports practice times. Find out how the heat is changing the game.
Well, hey there and happy Friday, Coastal Bend. Looking at our feels like temperatures as we're heading out there today, we've been talking about the additional moisture working into the area and those extra rain chances, but the other side of that, going to make it feel even warmer than those actual air temperatures out there. Once again, chasing the triple digits for daytime highs in terms of that feels like temperature. Of course, the actual air temperature should be in those low to mid 90s, but either way, want to remember those heat safety practices as we're heading through July and of course deeper into summer. Here's a look at some of our rain chances as we're heading out there today. They're going to start to peak as we're heading in towards the later morning and early afternoon hours with that daytime heating in full effect. That's where we're expecting more of those scattered downpours to start taking shape on the radar. As we go in towards Friday night, though, looks to start drying back out before we start to head into Saturday afternoon for that next round of showers and downpours on the board. Here's how it's playing out on the 7-day forecast. 91 degrees tomorrow and into Sunday before we start to warm up even more into next week. 92 on Monday and Tuesday with the potential chance for another round of isolated showers working in by Wednesday with overnight lows nearing 80 degrees this weekend.
I'm Stephanie Molina in St. Paul, where I've been covering drainage and flooding concerns here. San Patricio County Drainage District crews have made progress, so I went to take a look as to what has been done so far. I first told you about Chrissy Godinez after recent rainstorms flooded her home. After my story, the San Patricio County Commissioner Precinct 3 office and the Drainage District began work to improve drainage in the area. So where most of the progress has been done is here on County Road 2375, and I'm gonna crouch down to show you. I mean, this is how deep it is. Those two pipes right there used to be only one, and they added that other one to help it drain properly. And all of this road right here has already been dug up. I followed up with Godinez to see how she feels about the progress, especially with more rain in the forecast.
I'm thankful. Like, we shouldn't have a drainage issue. It should be flowing a lot faster now with the culverts that they installed. Honestly, it makes me feel good because I'm not that concerned, honestly. Like, I'm like, let it rain. I'm not gonna worry about it this time. Feels better.
Construction is set to begin on a $35 million project in Calallen. I'm Jada Jenkins in Calallen, and TxDOT leaders say as this area continues to grow, this project is meant to improve traffic flow and safety.
After years of planning, construction is now underway on a major road project along FM 624 in Calallen. The $35 million project will widen about 3 miles of roadway. I called Corpus Christi area engineer Eric Martinez with TxDOT. He says the plan includes adding 3 lanes in each direction, new turn lanes, a sidewalk, and a shared use path for pedestrians and cyclists.
Once school starts back up again, Calallen will probably see a pickup in traffic.
That's one of the reasons TxDOT says now is the time to get started, especially as the northwest side of Corpus Christi continues to grow.
It's really trying to keep up with the growth that's happening out there on the northwest side of the city.
Just off FM 624, Robert Elizalde has been serving customers at Mike's Cotton's Barbecue for more than 4 decades. He says he's watched the area transform and believes the project is another sign of that growth.
I think it's great for the economy, especially people shopping here.
Elizalde says the road is already busy and expects construction to create some short-term inconvenience.
Early in the mornings when I'm coming to work, it's pretty busy.
But he believes the long-term benefits for both local businesses and nearby schools will make the wait worth it.
If it's part of the progress and it's part of the growth, everybody should be able to deal with it.
TxDOT says drivers should expect traffic patterns to change as work gets underway, and they're expecting drivers to slow down, stay alert, and follow traffic laws as construction continues. In Calallen, I'm Jada Jenkins with Chris 6 News.
So if you still pay your bills by snail mail or send birthday cards the old-fashioned way, you'll want to head to the post office before Sunday. The U.S. Postal Service raising prices on just about everything from forever stamps to package shipping.
Starting up July 12th, sending a letter's gonna cost you a little bit more.
The price for Forever stamps is increasing by 4 cents, from 78 cents to 82 cents. The cost to mail a 1-ounce letter with a stamp also rises to 82 cents. Postcards also increasing from 61 to 65 cents. The international postcards and letters raise from $1.70 to $1.75. Package shipping also going up. Prices increasing about 6.3% on average. USPS Ground Advantage will rise roughly 7.1%. Parcel Select rates will increase about 7.6%. Priority Mail Express prices also expected to increase about 7.3%. Exact prices vary depending on packages, sizes, weights, and destination. So why the increase? Well, USPS says that it's part of a long-term financial plan to make the agency more self-sustaining as it continues to deal with declining mail volume, rising transportation and operating costs, and years of financial losses. The Postal Service says that these changes are necessary to keep providing universal mail services across the country. The Postmaster General says that this likely won't be the last increase, saying Forever stamps should cost between 90 and 95 cents.
Subsidizing the post office has been a spectacular investment for the United States. We believe this economic engine and that investment is worth saving.
Now, postal leaders have indicated that they'll continue reviewing prices on a regular basis as they work to stabilize the agency's financing, meaning that customers should expect the postage rates to continue changing and possibly going up over the next several years. One bit of good news, though, if you've already stocked up on Forever stamps, they will still be valid no matter how high prices go in the future.
Texas lawmakers are renewing their push to ban THC products. A Senate committee met Tuesday to discuss the impact of hemp on young people. Some lawmakers argue the products cause mental health problems. They also point to an increase in babies born with THC in their systems. New state rules already raise licensing fees for sellers. Now, one state senator plans to file a bill to completely ban consumable hemp products during the next legislative session.
An update to Wednesday's deadly disturbance on Moravian Drive in the Bay Area.
19-year-old Victor Moreno was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and criminal mischief. Police say they found 32-year-old Athanasios Stamatakis with severe injuries. A car hit him and was taken to the hospital where he later died. Investigators say the two knew each other.
Computers are getting smarter and more efficient. But this year, they're also getting more expensive. So we're looking at ways to save on laptops while you still can.
This is a screen for a MacBook.
Tony Marshall runs the laptop repair and sales shop AAA Laptops. He's trying to take the sting out of Apple's recent price hikes.
As a student, pretty much broke all the time. So any dollar that you could save is definitely, definitely welcome.
The problem, the rising cost of memory chips.
The RAM and the hard drive, the cost is literally almost doubled.
With a new MacBook Air now $200 more, Marshall sells refurbished models, less than half the price of new.
And it's only $400. It's an adequate system for a student.
David Katzmeyer of CNET says even cheaper laptops are costing about 10 to 20% more. Among them, Apple's MacBook Neo.
Really nice laptop for around $600, but of course, that product got a price increase, so now it's $700. Still recommended among our best laptops for students.
He says if you can hold off, the typical Black Friday, Cyber Monday discounts will offer bigger savings. For students who have to buy now,
Chromebooks are a lot less expensive than that, for example.
Marshall suggests last year's MacBook before it sells out, but cautions about buying secondhand.
How about just buying a used laptop on Marketplace?
I wouldn't advise it. You've got to be careful about where you buy from. And the last place you really want to buy is on the internet.
So look for back-to-school sales, including tax-free holidays, last year's models, or a refurbished laptop with a warranty, so you don't waste your money. John Mattery, Scripps News Group.
A report from the American Cancer Society expects lung cancer to kill 125,000 people this year, but there is hope.
Mandy Gaither has more on how one man went from a 2-month life expectancy to living cancer-free.
Before 2019, lung cancer may have been the last thing on David Peterson's mind. But when this non-smoker had a cough that wouldn't go away, he got the shock of his life.
It turned out I had stage 3 lung cancer.
The tumor was surgically removed, but about a year later, the cancer returned with a vengeance, now growing in both lungs despite every treatment thrown at it. Peterson progressed to stage 4.
Nothing was working, and I was completely out of options.
That's when Peterson found Northwestern Medicine's DREAM program. Thoracic surgeon Dr. Ankit Barrett says there's a long-held belief that terminal lung cancer patients shouldn't receive lung transplants. But in this study, Barrett and others researched what happens when they do.
It really is designed to serve as the last option when everything else has failed.
17 out of 98 stage 4 lung cancer patients studied who met certain criteria underwent a double lung transplant. The 81 others received medical management alone because a transplant wasn't an option. Researchers say 100% of transplanted patients were alive 1 year after surgery, compared to a 41% 1-year survival rate among the patients treated with medical therapies alone.
It offers the possibility of hope to many, many hopeless patients.
I had about 2 months more to live.
That was then. This is now. Nearly 3 years after receiving 2 new lungs, Peterson remains cancer-free with no signs of organ rejection.
Don't give up.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska. High school coaches are going to have to take an extra step before practices this fall. Starting August 1st, the UIL will require all programs to follow the wet bulb globe temperature. That determines if it's safe enough for students to practice outside.
Go. Good, here we go. Everything's scientific based, and I believe the UIL is, we're trying to protect kids and do what's in the best interest of all of our student athletes.
Here's the UIL's new policy. The Coastal Bend is located in Class 3 on the United States map. If the wet bulb globe temp is 87 to 90, which is the orange zone, programs are required to have 4 breaks an hour at 4 minutes each, with practices no longer than 2 hours, and players restricted to helmets, shoulder pads, and shorts. As the temperature rises, there are more restrictions.
Whenever you have a wet bulb temperature rating of 82 and above, then you're mandated by the UIL to have a rapid cooling system.
The Pirates chose to use a rapid cooling bag.
You would lay it on the ground.
To help a player battling a heat-related illness, they would have the player lay in this bag and then fill it with ice water to bring their temperature down. To help me understand what exactly is wet bulb globe temperature, I got help from Chief Meteorologist Stephanie Lauber.
Let's get a crash course in the wet bulb globe temperature, which is a mouthful, so a more fun way to say it, the WebGetty. Like the feels like temperature, this goes so much further and gives you a precise reading because the feels like temperature heat index only takes into account the temperature and humidity. The temperature is measured in the shade. The WebGetty takes into account temperature, humidity, solar radiation, how intense the sunlight is, and the wind as well.
Just like last year, we're going to have to be able to adjust. There's going to be times where we bring the kids in the morning so we can get the adequate practice time that the UIL allows us to do, and then there's going to be times where it's later at night.
So will kids ever get to practice here in South Texas heat? There's good news on the horizon. August is going to be the toughest month, but heading into September, 2 major changes are going to really drop that wet bulb globe temperature. That's a lower sun angle and more clouds, because September is the wettest month of the year for us here in the Coastal Bend. The WebGetty was developed by the United States Marine Corps with the help of the United States Army and the United States Navy to more precisely measure heat stress on the body, and they did this in the 1950s. It's something that our servicemen and women still use today.
This is not to say that today's kids aren't tough, because as London Athletic Director Andy Smith said, it's about protecting the kids. Football practice officially starts on August 3rd, with games kicking off August 27th. I'm Larissa Liska, Chris 6 Sports.
The Texas Rangers walked off with a thrilling win against the Los Angeles Angels.
Oh yeah, Texas built a big lead earlier on in the game, so Justin Fosk and Ezekiel Duran both hit home runs to put the Rangers up 6-1. But the Angels fought back in the 7th inning. Nolan Schnell hit a 2-run single to help tie the game at 6. Then Wyatt Langford played the hero card in the bottom of the ninth. He hit a walk-off single to left field to win the game. The Rangers beat the Angels 7-6.
TMZ is reporting the San Antonio Spurs are looking for a new play-by-play announcer. Jacob Toby reportedly lost his job amid cheating allegations. The claims went public on his social media earlier this week. His ex-girlfriend gained access to his account and posted about the affair. Fans quickly connected the other woman to the sister of a Spurs player. Toby has called games for the team since 2024. The Spurs have not yet commented on the situation.
A piece of New York Knicks history just sold for more than $1 million. Jaden Brunson wore the jersey during Game 1 of the NBA Finals. That series broke a massive 53-year championship drought for the team. The jersey sold over at Sotheby's auction late Wednesday. It set a new record for a Knicks collectible, but it still falls short of the all-time record. Michael Jordan's 1998 Finals jersey sold for $10 million in 2022.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
I'm Kobe Rawlings. This is my twin brother, Kelly Rawlings. We'd like to wish South Texas a wonderful morning. Come and see us.
Looking good, and a good morning to the Crumble Cookie team. You guys are going to be busy today. We hope you have a great grand opening, though.
We got to try it out sometime. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout out video, all you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen or head to our website, christv.com.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The Corpus Christi police officer Frederick Garcia, well, he's being charged with official oppression from an incident on Sunday. There's no details yet on what happened, but police say it was self-reported. An investigation determined it to be a criminal offense.
Bob Hall Pier is closed right now as crews begin pouring concrete walls for a concession area. The pier is expected to reopen in mid-afternoon.
And fire crews spent Thursday monitoring the scene of Wednesday's grass fire in Aransas County. At last check, fire was 95% contained. Evacuated residents were allowed to return home. Cause of the fire right now is unknown.
For the final day of mosquito spraying, vector control will be on the south side of Corpus Christi today. So folks, make sure you keep your pets away from the spraying areas.
Now, there is a safety recall for Honda Odyssey minivans. This is because water can get in the rearview camera, increasing the risk of a crash. This recall covers 2018 through 2020 Odyssey models.
More than 500,000 Cobalt tools are being recalled over a fire hazard. The recall involves certain tools with 24-volt USB-C lithium-ion batteries, and they can short circuit. And those are the 6 things you need to know.
Well, hey there, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at our Friday forecast, you can see how we're expecting more of those scattered showers and storms heading into the later morning and early afternoon hours. By the later afternoon into the evening hours, a lot of that activity starts to shift its way inland before drying up entirely as we head in towards our Friday night. But we're not done there. As we're heading in towards Saturday afternoon with the daytime heating in full effect, should start to see more of those downpours showing up on the radar. Either way, feeling plenty warm out there. Daytime high is going to be in the 90s the whole forecast. Either way, hoping you have a safe and great Friday afternoon.